Good evening. I'm Scott Binsack, and thank you for joining me. Tonight, I'm going to be discussing, are you a wolf or are you a sheep? Culture leads one to believe that there is a completion in life. Society is sort of brainwashing us to believe that there is a completion. There is no completion. A classic example is sort of Zen. Um, you go, you're born, you go to kindergarten, you go to grade school, you go to high school, you go to college, you get a job, and then you die. This is how most of society thinks and has been bred, that there is a completion, when in fact, our learning and growing is limitless. There is no completion. The simple way of putting it, there are wolves and then there are sheep. The sheep are people who think that there's going to be a completion. They are given a script by the wolves and then they are eaten. It's that simple. They are eaten. This is just one of many ways to look at it. Main reason I believe is that people live in fear and that society has basically brainwashed them. And I don't mean controlling or conspiracy crap. I'm talking, as I just said, your people believe that this is all there is. And they work in that way. And that's how the wolves want you to believe. You're fed the script and then you're eaten. And if you're living your life believing that there's a completion, i.e., that you're born, you go to kindergarten, you go to grade school, you go to high school, you go to college, then most plus job, retirement, dead. No, no. As I said, there's many reasons for this. The hierarchy, the tribes, for years. And I bring this up because there are many reasons why all of us don't want to be told what to do. I'm a person who doesn't like being told what to do since a young age. I'm a wolf. I'll be straight. More so, a lion with a passionate heart. But there's a difference between wolves and lions. A wolf will survive. A wolf is someone who sees it and has to grab it and will do whatever it takes and knows that there is no completion. It is limitless. Thus, you don't have to be stuck in the way that you believe. You have been taught to believe. Again, be born, go to kindergarten, go to grade school, college, high school, college, presumably get a job, death. No. I believe we're all tired, and I believe we're all scared. Looking for a direction in life. Please give me a fucking direction. Everyone is looking for direction. You have to realize the world is always changing. Life is always moving. From out of order comes disorder. From out of disorder comes order. Societies thrive and implode. This is how it works. Relationships are alive and then they're dead. I mean, friendships are tight and then they end. Women and men are hot and heavy and then they're not. If you want a relationship in business, in life, with a partner, you need to not have a fragile structure, but a solid structure, and thus change your state of mind to understand that there is no completion, that our learning and growing is continual, and that you're not stuck in this pattern, that you want to be in a state of mind to have a complete trust in making decisions and thus in yourself. And so when any problems come your way, you know how to act fast. You know how to deal with them. The wolves embrace ambiguity, embrace trouble. I embrace problems. I'm someone who thrives in problems. But to become a wolf, you have to change your whole perspective, the way you think. I, unfortunately, had to become a wolf. I was forced into becoming a wolf. And only certain people are born to become wolves, so to speak, that are raised that way. We'll say, and I'll put it to you this way, those who go to Harvard and Yale are bred to be wolves. Bred to be wolves. Because there were wolves from generations and generations before. And not, name a few other schools. It's not about the school. It's about the upbringing. You can be brought up to be a wolf. But most of the time, you learn to be a wolf. Through failure. Through lessons. Through changing your state of mind. Wolves embrace trouble. They embrace problems and they thrive for them. Sheep are afraid of problems. Sheep back away from problems. Sheep want to just go and do their normal routine, follow the rules, and, as I said, die. I'm sad. I hate to say it, but that's the way it is. Do you want to be a sheep? Are you a sheep? You want to embrace your problems. You want to embrace your future. If you want to be a businessman, you want to have a good relationship, you want to learn about them. You want to know there's more. A good example, if you go to a doctor and a doctor tells you that X, Y, and Z is wrong with you, do you accept what the doctor says or do you get another opinion? Do you investigate it yourself? Do you say, wait a minute, is that the norm? Is that correct? Remember, doctors are human beings. Remember, computers are fed by human beings. In other words, the information that's there. Do you are one to just go onto Google and believe everything you read? A wolf never believes everything that he or she reads. A wolf investigates. A wolf never assumes. You can become a wolf easily. And I don't mean everybody relates it to The Wolf on Wall Street. Great movie, by the way. True, basically a true story. I knew that, man. You see, if you've seen that movie, it's not about him knowing the stock market. It was about his state of mind, his personality. And if you see, he walked into a brokerage that was nothing, selling penny stocks. And he got on the phone and pow, he had a sale within minutes. It wasn't about his knowledge of stocks. It was about his confidence in himself. It was about his will to survive. He was a wolf, and he ate those who came in his way. I know it's a way people would say, well, why do I want to live like that? I don't mean you have to be a wolf to where you have to eat everybody that's around you. To be a wolf is to be strong, to be in a state of mind that you do not accept the norm. I'm born and I go to kindergarten and then I go to grade school and then I go to high school, then I assumably go to college and then I die. No, you can have anything you want. That's what the wolves want you to believe and have our society. This is how our society is for the majority. The wolves control society. Truth. Think about it. The wolves control society. Those who follow are the sheep. They are fed the script by the wolves, just like what you read on the news and here and there and everywhere else. You believe it, you feed into it, and that's it. The wolves eat you. And they're happy just where you are, working 9 to 5, going in circles, paying your bills, going to try to retire, and then you die. Because they don't want more wolves. They want sheep. You don't want to be a sheep. You want to be a wolf. Period. You don't want to be eaten alive by anybody. And that includes anything in your life. Relationships, marriage, business. You want to continue learning. Our continued learning and growth is limitless. Life is limitless. The universe is limitless. And I learned this. That you can. I was thrown. Horrible childhood, as I've mentioned on my shows before. And when I say horrible, the things that I have overcome would just make some people probably vomit. It's the only way for me to tell you. How I survived it? I became a wolf, even at a very, very young age. When people told me something or abused me or did something to me, I fought back. I got away from them. But I was basically forced to become a wolf or die. School wasn't for me either. I always questioned what was told to me. Was this, or that? I always questioned it. And you don't have to have a high IQ to do that. You just have to learn, and this topic could go on and on and on and on and on. You must learn that life is limitless. There is no completion. If you believe that all there is, like I said, the schooling, the job, retirement, and death, then you're sheep. There's much more to life. You can still, no matter what age you are, no matter what you're doing, become a wolf. Don't let people eat you alive. The art of changing your mindset. Life is very simple. We all complicate it. And wolves like that. Wolves like that. They like the sheep. And I'm talking about the bigger, the wolves of, you name it, they're there. If a banker tells you an interest rate, people believe this is it. Okay, I'll accept that. That's what it has to be. Really? Is that really what it has to be? No. We all need direction. We're all looking for direction. Most live in fear of what tomorrow will bring. As I've talked in other shows, this all ties together. You must lose the fear. You will gain nothing with fear. You will be a sheep and you will continually walk in the pasture being a sheep. And then you will die, not really experiencing all the things in life that you could experience, that you could become. If you want to be a pianist, if you want to be a CEO, educate yourself. And I don't mean so much by college. Learn to change your mindset, to step out of the normal box of living in today's society and ways. You don't have to go to work from 9 to 5 every day. You can be a wolf. You can eat the sheep. You can become your own. Once you learn that life is limitless. The world that we live in is limitless. It is not what everyone tells you it is, what the wolves tell you it is. You must change your state of mind and your way of thinking. An example, I opened my own business at 18. 18. Here I was doing jobs and accepting jobs and dealing with the wolves. And I had many try to take advantage of me at a young age. Oh, thinking that, okay, can you do this price job cheaper for me because you're young and you're just starting out and da 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 da. So what I did was I let them believe that they were being the wolf. And I said, okay. But then as the job progressed and they saw how good my work was, and they wanted more work and wanted extras, the prices went up. You see? They did not eat me. I, in the end, ate them. And in the end, they were happy, and then they referred me to someone else. And then the numbers went even higher because it's like demand. I was the wolf in demand. And others continue to try. And competition will try because there's other wolves. But once you know that it's safe to step out of the norm that society brainwashes you to believe, you can become the wolf. You don't want a fragile state of mind. You want a sound, secure, solid state of mind. That anything that comes your way, you can handle. Quick decisions. Worst news you could get, you handle it. You thrive on it. Life is limitless. Knowledge and learning is limitless. You want to learn how, you want to open a business, learn how it works. You want to have a good relationship, learn how that works. We learn by failures. That's basically the way we change. Humans really don't change unless they are forced to. On your face. Down, down, down. Then you're like, whoa, I should have listened. How did this happen to me? How did I get to where I am? You were eaten. And most are eaten by themselves. I've been there. I know. I made it in a market on Long Island in the Hamptons in my 20s that some have tried for 20, 30 years to make it, and I made it in 4 or 5 years. I was not going to be eaten. But I learned. Oh, I learned. And many tried to eat me. I was thrown to the wolves many, many times, and later in life with some very serious matters. I had to change, again, my state of mind. It's like you sitting there right now watching this, thinking that your life is nowhere, that you're stuck. You're stuck in this marriage, or you're stuck in this job, or you're stuck with you think you're too old. The list is endless. That is your state of mind. It's the wrong state of mind. This is what society, the wolves, want. I cannot express the importance of you changing your state of mind and thus taking a look at the world and thus yourself in a different way. Changing your state of mind, understanding that life is limitless. There is no completion. Death is not completion. That's not completion. What did you complete? You went to school, you got a job, you went on a couple trips and you died. You grew old and you died. That's a sheep. You have to live life. You have to take life head on. Fall down 8, get up 9. That's a wolf. Not fall down and stay down, or say I can't do this, life is too hard, this is that, the excuses are endless. You are the only one that can change your mindset. You, right now, watching this, you're the only one that can change your mindset, period. It's like the hierarchy from centuries ago. There was the king and the peasants. This is where all this stems from. Understand. The king was the wolf. His knights were wolves as well and part of the pack. The rest were sheep, dependent on the wolf. Do you want to depend on yourself, or do you want to depend on others and even your government? You can't depend on anybody else but yourself. The only way to survive, truly survive and live, is to be yourself and not a sheep, but a wolf. Even in your relationships. As I said, society thrives and it implodes. Relationships are alive and then the relationships are dead. And if you're lucky, you learn along the way and they don't die, but they continue on. The higher the state of mind you were in, the more awake you are in your state of mind, the higher level of completion you will achieve in your life. Just because you went to college, that's not complete. That's not completion. There is no completion. There's much more than that. There's much more than following these steps. It's our state of mind. And if you follow what society keeps telling you to be, then you will live as a sheep and then die. Is that truly what you want for your life? Or are you going to change your state of mind? Are you going to change the way you think? Are you going to make better decisions? Are you going to make stronger decisions? Are you going to listen to what others tell you? Or are you going to listen to yourself and what you tell you? You will then make better decisions. You will then have better relationships. You will then probably have a complete marriage. You will then have a successful business. Once you realize our learning and our growth is limitless. And that includes failing. It's limitless. The universe is limitless. Life is limitless. There is nothing that is complete. If you feel complete, you're a sheep. Nothing is complete. There is no such thing. And I'd love somebody to prove me different. There is nothing complete. Now, if you're a wolf and you continue to change and adapt and survive and grow and your state of mind is there and strong, you overcome everything and you live more, you live stronger, you do more things, you achieve more things, you go more places, you have better relationships, etc. The list is endless. Your business goes on. And even when your business booms, that's not a completion. There's no such thing. It keeps going and going and going. That's the problem, though. People are taught that these things, steps are completion. No, it's not. I can remember truly starving for food, living in my car. I've brought it up many times, and there's much more to that. Living in my car, going to family members and them having them turn me away at 15 and then 16. I was a sheep relying, as a child, a sheep relying on the wolf. And when I relied on the wolf and went to the wolf for help, they ate me. And then one day, I can remember I happened to have a puppy. And when I left home, I took the puppy with me. I was living in my car, and so was the puppy. I had no choice but to get rid of that puppy. Because let alone I couldn't survive on my own, let alone take care of a puppy. I was 16 years old. And I had to take the puppy to the shelter. It's one of the hardest things I had to do as a kid. He loved me. I loved him. And it was at that moment when I did that, I remember sitting back in my car and I'm like, okay, I'm going to be straight with you. I said, fuck him. Scott, this is the reality. This is not it. This is not your life. Your life doesn't end here. So what if you didn't go to school? They're being told, you don't go to school, you're going to be nothing. Yeah? By 23, he was a self-made millionaire. 12 million a year. Really? Okay. Not the norm. Solid state of mind. No completion. Limitless. The norm that we're brainwashed to believe is that if you don't go to school, you'll be nothing. Really? Okay. Bill Gates didn't even finish college. He's a wolf, trust me. And a lion on top of that. And I'm more so a lion than the wolves, but wolves survive. I'm a wolf. And I will eat people. I have no choice. In business, to survive, you have no choice. Now I want to teach people how to not be eaten. Because I'm a passionate man with a good heart and a good soul. But I also will never lay down and die. Or just take what someone tells me if it's incorrect. Or just accept it as the norm. No one's going to brainwash me. They tried to as a child. I refused it. I refused it. Did I suffer? Of course. Did I fail? Of course. Did I get right back up? Yes. But I always had the state of mind that there was something else. There was something more than just this. Go to school, go to college, get a job, and die. And there is much more. I did none of the above. I only made it into 8th grade. Yes, with a high IQ. Regardless, it doesn't matter what your IQ is. I was against the norm, as many who have made it and become wolves were against the norm, Are you understanding where I'm getting at now? Society, and society. You must be you. You must understand that there is no completion, that you don't have to follow this norm, and you can become a wolf. You must change your state of mind completely. And it's very simple. Life is very simple if you think about what I'm telling you. Think about this. All it takes is for you to say, tomorrow I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. And even if you don't have the money, you change your mindset and start believing it and start taking the small steps for it to be, it will become. And thus you are no longer a sheep. You are a wolf on the prey. Don't let society and others eat you. If you are a boss or you are a CEO even, you didn't get there by not being a wolf, so to speak. There are some bosses who are not wolves. And you know them. They're the passive ones that are like, yeah, okay. Not great bosses. A good boss, a good CEO, a good wolf, a smart wolf will teach its employees, its pack, so to speak, that there is no completion, that you can keep getting better and better and better and better, and yet you don't have to live the way that you're living. That you don't, this is not just where you're going to be at this desk at this time doing what you're doing. A good boss wants you to achieve and succeed. As I refer to Wolf on Wall Street, the movie. He only did well when his pack did well, but they were the sheep. He had his close four, which was the pack, and the rest were sheep. All the guys on the phone. Sheep, 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 sheep. He led them, and he led them well because he had the mindset to do it. Change your mindset. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter what you're doing right now. Even if you're retired right now, is that all you're going to be? Are you going to sit at home and be retired right now and just grow old and die? Or are you going to live? Because there is no completion. Just because they tell you you're retired or that this is what you have to do now, go whatever. Let's go get it. Let's retire. Let's spend our day doing this and that, and that's it. Wrong. There's much more. Much more. Don't just lay down and die. Don't just believe what you hear and see and read. Our learning and growing is limitless. You want to be able to make good, fast decisions in the face of anything, any ambiguity, any danger, any problem, any stress. Peace, solid peace, strong peace. But never, ever just settle for the norm. When I started my business, and then the years after, and I became successful, I had to learn how to treat employees because I was on survival mode, wolf mode. Now you can be a wolf, but as I said, you want to be a smart wolf, and you don't want to disrespect others that are being respectful to you. So here I am with 25 employees, 12, 13 jobs going on, 12 million a year in gross sales, and these are just for high-end homes and remodels, new construction remodels. And I was leading. And at some points, I wasn't leading very well. I had to change my state of mind and realize that I wanted to create solid wolves, not sheep, to be in my pack, to grow my business. Because without them, never succeed. You can never succeed alone, no matter what. Wolves realize this. Wolves realize that there is no completion, and thus that it's endless. You want them to prosper. You want them to be smart. You want them to be intelligent. You don't want them. Now, you're always going to have the sheep. Always. There are leaders and there are followers. Do you want to be a follower or do you want to be a leader? The choice is yours. The choice is yours. Are you going to follow what the norm and culture wants to lead you to believe? Or are you going to lead yourself? You can change anything in your life right now. The first thing you need to change is your state of mind. One is the word I can't. And don't accept that what someone tells you is the norm. You want a good business? Learn how your business is to work. Don't just jump into it. Learn how it works. You want a good relationship? Learn how relationships work. You want a robust, solid structure to make smart decisions. Don't follow the norm. Don't get eaten alive and then one day you find out you're not going to be here tomorrow. And again, what have you achieved? If you achieve the norm, go to school, then go to college, grade school, then college, then get a job and die. What have you achieved? Honestly, what have you achieved? I'm not saying that's bad. Meaning, I'm not saying that people who have done that is bad. What I'm saying is that that's what everybody does. Do you want to be just everybody? Or do you want to be a wolf? Do you want to be different? The wolves are the ones that know life is limitless. I will never, ever settle for the norm. I know it's limitless. And thus, while I'm here, I'm going to live it every day because I'm not good at following rules. I'm good at living and being me and not being eaten and helping others not be eaten. It's a goal of mine. I was thrown to the wolves many times. And I'm a wolf being thrown to the wolf. But I started as a sheep. When you can overcome the other wolves, and each time you fail and get up, you're overcoming that. But you still got to change your state of mind. You can fail and get back up. But if you're just going for the norm and following what society wants you to be, you're still a sheep. And I don't want to hear, I can't do this because of that, I can't do that because it's the people that don't follow the norm that have incredible lives. Because they know it's limitless. There is no completion. Yeah, great, I went to college. Okay, no disrespect, that's a big achievement. Then use it the right way now. Don't just go get a job and then die. There's much more. There's much more. Become much more. Learn that there's much more. They don't teach you that in college. Life is knowledge. Wolves thrive on life. You can have all the knowledge in the world. If you do not know how to use it and apply it, it's worthless. Worthless. That's like, I'll put it to you this way. It's great. You love the show Jeopardy, right? People go on there. They know all these words and they know all these answers. God bless them. They're very intelligent. Now, what they do with all that knowledge is a whole different story. Winning Jeopardy, that's a great achievement. Or being on Jeopardy, it's an achievement. But what do you do after that? You think that's it? I'm complete now. I was on Jeopardy. I won. I'm smart. Really? Okay. No. No. Our learning and growth is limitless. Listen to what I'm telling you. Don't just follow the script of the wolves and be eaten. I'm going to show you every week how not to be eaten. All my shows are about not being eaten, basically. There was a time in my life that I'm soon going to be discussing that I was not only thrown to the wolves, I was thrown to the lions. Just like in the great arena. And for a while, it didn't last long, but for a while, because of the shock of it all, I was a sheep again. Because I believed that this was the completion. This was it. And it wasn't it. It wasn't even close to being it. And the minute that I woke up and accepted reality, this is where you are, Scott. This is where you are in your life. And part of what I'm telling you is you must accept reality where you are in your life. Don't make it out like you're here and there and wherever. Look at your life for the true reality you are right now. Where do you want to be? Where do you want to go? It's more than just these goals, and more than you can have all the goals in the world. If you don't have the mindset to carry out those goals and to look at the big picture, what's it going to get you? The completion of the goals, and then, okay, you think that's it. That's not it. It's about living. It's about being. It's about not laying down and dying and listening to what everyone in society fills your head with every day. It's about being you. It's about being real. Wolves are real. And they're real serious about survival. And they're real serious about their lives, as are lions. You can be eaten by yourself as a sheep. You don't even need to let the wolves eat you because you've already listened to the wolves. You'll be eaten by your own thoughts. Your own mind will eat you alive if you allow it. If you allow it. And thus, that's what society puts in your brain. Get that shit out of there. Right now, start fresh in your brain and take a good look at society. Take a good look at what we're taught every day. Take a good look at who the leaders are, how the CEOs who got where they are today, how people have had successful marriages and others failed, good relationships and others have failed. Again, life is limitless. Don't accept the status quo. Never. Never, ever. Never, ever. So, back to where I was. Here I am in this business, and I have all this going on, all these employees, and I started to lose employees. And people would come to me, "You're an asshole to work for, blah, blah, blah." Now, I would take care of them financially. They love me for that. My way of thinking was, here, I'll take care of them with money. Everything will be great. Oh, yeah, I got the hours out of them. But did I get their best work? Did I get their best work ethic? Did I get their passion for their job? Did I see what their true passion was in themselves and thus use that? You want to look at what your passions are, and that's a good boss will look at what their employees are good at and put them in that position or in a position that they can thrive in. That's a smart wolf. And I learned that because I got smacked down to reality. Once again, I lost many employees over a quick 2-week period because I had allowed society, so to speak, and what others were saying to get to me in my 20s. And wolves are not liked. Wolves are not liked. And that's part of the game. That's part of life. And I wasn't liked. And I had in my 20s, it got to me. I had to always wanted to please people. Wanted to be this because stemmed from my childhood. Wanted to always please my family. Fuck them. You don't need to please anyone but yourself. It doesn't matter what other people think of you. That's being eaten. That's being eaten. You're a sheep. If you let what others say about you, and thus society, even your family, anyone, if you let what others say about you or recommend to you or do control you, you're a sheep. A wolf would say, okay, thank you for what you had to say. Now, I'm going to make my decision anyway, period. And not care what they say, or not, they'll consider it if it's good information and good knowledge and good advice. And then say, okay, let's look at all these. And they do it fast. They don't wallow in it. They make a decision and say, okay, that's it. I'm making a decision. They stick to it and they never look back. It's it. Done. Never question your decisions. That's part of being a wolf as well. Make the decision, live by it. If you fail, you get back up. That's the learning, and you change. Thus changing your state of mind. You must accept that all that comes with it. You follow where I'm going. You must accept, and that's the state of mind, that all this comes with life. Just because you didn't go to school, just say if you didn't go to school or you lost this job or you did this, that's not it. It's not the end. It's not completion. It's limitless. You keep going. And you don't have to do what everybody else does. Be creative, be original, be yourself, be a wolf. If you allow yourself any of these things, you're a sheep. Think for yourself. And even if you're a boss now, or CEO and successful now, you can always become more successful. And I don't mean in money. I mean within yourself. And that's the point I was making with my business. I was very successful monetarily, but unsuccessful personally. My relationship with people. Because I took all my pains and my hurts and I stuck it in my business, and that was great. No fear there. But even my one-on-one with people, relationships, my marriage at the time, employees, everything suffered because I let the sheep, that was part of the sheep letting me believe that was the norm. What my family said to me, this is the way you're going to be, or what they did to me, this is that you're going to have the guilt of this, too bad, blah, 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 blah. No! It doesn't matter what happened to you. That's not completion. That's it. There's much more. It's limitless. It's endless. Period. Never let any of that's part of being a wolf. You never let anything that's happened to you control you or stop you from moving forward again. And keep on going, because as I said, learning and growth is limitless. There's no stopping point. There's no such thing. There's no such thing, and death is not a stopping point, believe it or not. Life goes on. When you die, life still moves on, right? It still keeps going and going and going and going and going. As they find out more and more, every day our universe just keeps growing and growing and growing, just as in life. It rains, the grass grows, grass dies, water it again, grass comes back, etc., etc., etc. You plant new grass and it goes. As I said, the world, societies thrive and then they implode. Just look at our history. Relationships are alive and then they're dead. Women and men are hot and heavy and then they're not. You want to keep it that way, you have to understand and change your mindset, and you will keep it that way. And keep moving and evolving and going and changing and it's like I said, our world, if you look at it, it's gone. Centuries. Thrives, implodes, thrives, implodes, thrives, implodes. There's no completion. Once you realize this, your whole perspective on life is going to change. Once you don't accept what society is feeding you, your whole world is going to change. Be you. Be unique. Be a wolf. Then be a lion. We're talking about wolves, though, in this example. Be a wolf. I will come back leading the pack if you throw me to the wolves. Even though I'm a wolf, you can still get, just because you become a wolf doesn't mean you're not going to be thrown back to the wolves. It happens all the time. There's still always one wolf that leads the pack of other wolves. So you're still going to get, there's times you're going to be thrown to the wolves. What you want to do is become so strong and so solid in your mind, like I said, that you have a robust, solid structure of your mind that you can make quick decisions, solid decisions, thus sound, living in a sound place that nothing affects you. And if you get knocked down, you get right back up. That's it. And you look at it and you learn from it, and that's not the end of it. Understand? It's limitless. It's limitless. You want to just be born, kindergarten, grade school, high school, college, death? Is that what you want to be? There's much more to life than that. Much more to life than that. And most importantly, and I'm not just talking about monetarily things, not even close. I'm talking about here. There's much more to life, how you look at it and how you perceive it, and peace within oneself and the sound decisions and the structure of your mind. That's a wolf. It doesn't have to be the man on Wall Street taking over the world. It has to be you taking over your own world and your own mind and not being sheep anymore. You must take control of your lives. You can never blame anybody else. A wolf doesn't blame another wolf or anybody else. A wolf stands up, takes responsibility, learns from the mistakes, and moves on. When they get thrown to the pack again, I'll lead it again. And I've done it. And the other example that I was telling you about, I actually went back to, for a little while, believing that I was a sheep. Like, it was that shocking. And I said, accept the reality of what's happened to you. Now you're going to change it. Are you going to lay here and die, or are you going to let these wolves eat you? No. I got up and I lived. And I took every step it needed to lead the pack again and thus get out of that situation. Never lay down and die. Never think that there's completion, because there's not. Wolves thrive from anything that's thrown at them, and I'm one of them. You throw me a problem, I'll thrive on it. I recently got some information. I'm thriving on it right now because I'm going to smash it. So either I lay down and die with it, and let it eat me and thus become a sheep to it and let it control me, or I control it. There it is in a nutshell. If you let something or someone control you, you're a sheep. If you do not, you're a wolf. And it's easy to say, I don't let somebody do this, or I don't let somebody do that. No. Where are you in your life? Where do you want to be? Are you learning and growing? Do you understand how it all works? Learn how it all works, and you got it. It's limitless. There is no completion, and I'm saying it over and over and over again so you get it through your heads. There's no completion. Stop worrying about things that don't matter. Worry about yourself, not others. Don't worry about it what anyone else thinks. Don't worry about if you're in a job and you're just following along like a little sheep. Stop. Learn how you can become a wolf in your own job and move up the ladder and become more. Or go out into your own business and take the steps to do it and thus be a real wolf. The choice is yours. The choice is yours. No one else's. No one else's. And I'm not one, I'm sorry to say, I'm not one who is, I'm not one on pity. I don't like, listen, people wallow in their shit. No. Nope. And never rely, I'm going to teach you something else right now. Never rely on others. That's a major part of being a wolf. What I mean by that is you could say you have all these friends in the world and all these acquaintances, but until you hit rock bottom, you'll never know who's your real friend, and 99% of them won't be there. A wolf knows this already and thus doesn't rely on that. They'll embrace them, but they don't rely on them. They rely on themselves. Even in a solid marriage, you can rely on your partner for things, yes, but still inside it all, you know how it all works. You rely on yourself. And then together, if you have another partner that's the same way, you will thrive. Because you both know. Is that it? The honeymoon? After the honeymoon, it's over. Here you are in a marriage. Is that it? That's completion. Right? Basically. Oh, okay. I got married. This is great. Now I'm here. Okay. I did it. I completed that. Now what? Now what? Life is limitless. Society taught you get married and that's it. Beautiful. Have kids and that's it. Think about it. That's what you've been taught. Beautiful. Much more to life than that in the state of mind you're in. Much more. That's the norm. That's the norm. Do you want to be just the norm? Do you want to be a sheep and follow along? Or do you want to be a wolf? The decision is yours. And I had it to the point where people had me so far down and controlled, meaning in their control, I still became the wolf. And when you become a wolf, be prepared, because the haters are going to hate. So what? Who cares? They're miserable themselves. Talk haters or sheep. Wolves don't hate. They thrive. Somebody else is successful, they thrive on it. Beautiful. Wonderful. Glad you achieved it. Welcome to the pack. Sheep hate. Because sheep can't figure it out, you see. A lot of sheep can't figure it out. And they're miserable, so when they see someone else successful, and even friends, it's great. You got to love those scenarios. Best friends are the best, especially women. No disrespect. Even it happens with men too, but I remember this all the time when I'm growing up. Have a girlfriend, right? She becomes happy. We're dating. Everything's wonderful. And she's, I'm good looking. She's good looking, whatever. And her girlfriend, she steps away from her girlfriends a little bit because she's spending more time with her man in a relationship. The girlfriend gets jealous and then becomes a hater behind the scenes. And then the girlfriend will start to listen to the girlfriend feeding her BS. Okay? And then the relationship has problems because the one is a sheep listening to the girlfriend. Now, if the guy is bad news, okay, I respect that. That's a big difference in what I'm saying. But if the guy isn't bad news, and usually it's when the girl's happy. If the girl's happy, let her figure it out on her own. If she's happy, be happy for her. Don't hate. And you're out there. Men's the same way. They lose their friend, blah, blah, blah. People don't like to be alone, as I said. And also in this society makes you believe that there's a completion, and there's not. It's limitless. There is no completion. Thus people live in fear. There's many reasons we all want to be told how it is and what to do. Because it comes from our civilization. As I said, the tribes, the hierarchy, the kingdoms. People want to know people just want to know that it's fucking going to be okay. No other way to put it. It is going to be okay if you change your state of mind. And it goes back to the other discussion they have of fear. But you still have to change the mind, and then you'll get rid of the fear as well. But it stems from the state of mind. And the state of mind comes from You taking in your entire environment, thus this planet, this place you live, Earth, here, right now. Understand what goes on around you. Don't bury your head in the sand and be like, ho, 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 in it with your head in the sand. No, understand how this all works, and it's very simple. It's very simple. Don't listen to the crap you're fed on TV. Don't listen to this stuff. It's garbage. It's garbage. That's a sheep. That's a sheep. Wolves know that that's garbage. They know it. They thrive off of it. And how it works. The sheep are fed, they're led, and the wolves eat them. And that's it. They're dead. Wow. No. Live your life. Change your mindset. Understand what I'm telling you, because this is the fact. It is a fact on how it all works. People like to believe it's all rosy and cheery and da-da-da-da-da. No. It's not. Because they live in their own little world and they're sheep. And that's the way the wolves want them. Thank you. Follow along. Go to A, go to B, go here, go there, do that. Take my word for it and go die after it's all over. Nope. I'm going to say it again. It's all up to you. It's all up to you to change your state of mind and understand your surroundings and your environment, and thus the world you live in. And if you haven't seen the movie Wall Street, watch it. Forget about all the other BS that's in it, but watch the movie and pay attention. It's a great example of how his mindset controlled everything around him and everyone. He was a wolf, hence the name. And he was a nobody. He was a nobody, but got the gist and changed his mindset. Period. And he lived his life. People may not agree with how he lived his life, but who cares? It's not your job or our job to judge how someone else lives. It's not. And it's no disrespect, and I'll say this, but the show's not about politics or anything like that. It's not our job to judge how other countries live. If it doesn't affect our citizens and our true safety, and nobody's coming across our borders, okay, period, then who cares? That's a whole nother issue and not part of my shows, but think about what I'm telling you. Another term is wolf, sheep, leader, follower. Are you a leader or a follower? And I don't mean lead that you have to lead people. Lead yourself. Lead yourself. Lead yourself in the right direction. Change your mindset. Have no fear. But mainly, you have to change your mindset first. Drop the walls. Live. Get out of the box. And you'll be able to become anything you want to be. But don't be a sheep. Don't just accept the norm. Don't believe that there's completion, because there's not. Learning and growth is limitless. And that business I told you about that eventually went up to, I don't know, roughly $16 million a year. It was funny tonight, I posted a post on Facebook about learning and about failure. And the only way to learn is to fail. Period. And that business, even though I succeeded in creating the business, keeping it thriving, making millions, becoming a millionaire, achieving all these things. But then I failed. I learned a big lesson. I had to sell off part of that company, bankrupt the other part, and I bankrupted for $8 million. $8 million at 27 years old. Pow! And I sold off the other and made money on it. But regardless, do you want to know why? The business was thriving. Never told this to anybody. I'm telling you all now. You want to know why? Had this incredible business, everything running. Learned, failed, got up, learned, made, build it, and I loved that business. I loved that company. 8 mil bankruptcy. Poof! It's the minute I started to learn hard again. The other part, I made money selling it. Don't get me wrong. But the key is, I didn't have to. I didn't have to bankrupt it. I didn't have to do any of it. I chose to do that out of, at the time, a situation that created fear. Straight up, and I'm man enough to admit it. In my 20s, kid, I was fearful of a situation. It had nothing to do with authorities or anybody like that. Totally separate. Total different world I was in there in New York. I chose that. What? Think about that. I chose it. I chose to implode it. Thrive, implosion. Thrive, implosion. I made the choice, not others, out of a fear. Huge mistake. Fall. Multi-million-dollar mistake. Hit to the freaking everything my whole sound being. I became a sheep right that instant. Went from wolf to sheep. Poof. I had to find myself again after that. And I found myself, but only by falling and failing. And I'm man enough to admit it. So eventually I built another company, double the size of that one. But it's by thus becoming a wolf again. I changed my mindset. All you have to do is change your mindset and understand that knowledge and life and growth is limitless. There's no such thing as completion. You're never going to be complete. So stop trying to think you're going to be complete and just live. Live, grow, be a wolf. Don't be eaten every day. Because eventually, that's it. Time runs out. So what's it going to be? What's it going to be? I leave you with, again, born, kindergarten, grade school, high school, to college, to job, death. That's what you're taught. That's pretty much what everybody's taught and raised to be. No such thing. That's what the wolves want you to believe. Now it's up to you. It's up to you. Think about what I'm telling you and think about it hard. Because you only got one life, and take it from a man who knows, who has died, been blessed to come back, have failed, have fallen on my face numerous times, made some horrible mistakes, as well as faced some serious packs of wolves when I didn't make a mistake, when I hadn't made some mistakes, just to be thrown to the wolves out of jealousy and hatred and other motives. I still came back to lead the pack, as can you. As can you. So, what's it going to be? You're going to change your mindset, and you're going to live and understand there is no completion. I'm telling you, there is none. And if you think about it, you'll understand what I'm saying to you. There is none. My quote from all of this, and I'm now going to stick my name to it, is learning and growth is limitless. Life is knowledge. And if you have gone to college and you have all that knowledge, book knowledge, now it's time to get the life knowledge and become a wolf and go out there and do something. Use it. Understand that there's much more. You don't have to just go get a job and then die. Get a job, reach for the stars, get more, go for more. But mainly, and it's not again about the success and the stepping stones, up here, change your mindset. Change your mindset and watch what happens to your life. I challenge you. Change your entire mindset and understand this and see and watch what happens to your life, your career, your business, your relationships, your marriage, everything. I challenge you to do it. Don't follow the norm. Don't be eaten. Change your mindset and watch what happens. God bless and have a good night. I also want to tell you, please, if I am changing our blog site and our site for our videos, it's going to be upgraded over the next week. And we are also moving on to different video equipment and different setting. And please like and share these videos. If you do, I appreciate it. And I want to thank everyone who does and who watches and has people that I've helped. And that means a lot to me. As I said, you'll see on these blog platforms, there's no advertising, there's no nothing. The money's not, I'm not in it for the money. I'm in this particular, my message here is to help others, to truly learn what's going on out there, and to become a better person and sound within oneself. Take the challenge. I'm telling you, I'm challenging you. Do it. Get her done, do it. There is no completion. Have a great night.